A 63-year-old song went viral and the singer died a month later. A diss track won Song of the Year, and AI is now generating the entire Spotify catalog in 2 weeks. Cool to finally be living in the future everyone was so excited about. These are the 50 most important music moments 2025 ranked from 50 to 1. I went through hundreds of moments to find the ones that actually matter. By the end of this video, you'll understand everything important that happened in music this year. And I will have spiraled into an existential crisis. This video is made so that you can just listen if you want to, so, you can listen to it as a radio thing or watch, because there is images. Okay, let's get started. Number 50. First up, we have Ray with her song, Where Is My Husband? And the bridge of this song went massively viral on TikTok. I really like this one. It has this fast singing, almost rapping style that goes up and down melodically. It's super fun and pretty difficult to sing, which is why I won't be demonstrating it. I don't want to show off, Number 49, the pop album called I Said I Love You First. It's a collaboration between Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez, who got married in September. The narrative follows the end of a failed relationship implied to be Justin Bieber's and Selena Gomez's, and then Selena meeting Benny Blanco and their present-day happiness. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 200 with 120,000 units. That's the biggest US sales week for either of them. Finally, a celebrity relationship that will last forever, Number 48. Next up, we have a hip-hop reunion album after 16 years by the duo Clips called Let God Sort 'Em Out. It features Kendrick Lamar, Nas, Tyler, the Creator, and John Legend.
Rich, choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with chains and whips.
This is culturally inappropriate.
They also became the first rapper ever to perform at the Vatican in September. If you're unfamiliar, a lot of their songs are about the drug business, and they had this old song called Dope Man. You gotta wonder if at the Vatican they switched it up and performed it as Pope Man. Okay, I'm sorry. Number 47. The iconic metal band Ghost released their 6th album, Skeleton, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 200. It is their first number 1 and the first hard rock album to hit that since AC/DC's Power Up. It's also only the 2nd time a Swedish artist hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 200. First was Asa Bass's Design in 1994. I of course care deeply about this as a Swedish person, but it's genuinely a huge moment for hard rock. If it's going to succeed in modern times, then Ghost is the blueprint. So if you're starting a metal band, definitely go with a spooky Pope look. I guess we have a bit of a Pope theme going on in this video. Number 46. Next up, we have a Latin pop album by Rosalia called Lux. This is an incredibly ambitious project recorded with the London Symphony Orchestra. She sings in 14 different languages and spent a lot of time learning how to sing in them with different language experts. She made a point of saying no AI was used, which definitely would have cheapened the multi-language aspect. It's the best reviewed album of 2025 on Metacritic. You have to love when people put this type of effort into their projects. It really makes the rest of us look bad. Number 45. Okay, so next up we have the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is basically the Oscars for music, but for your whole career. You can't apply. A committee of critics and music industry people vote, and you're only eligible 25 years after your first release. Getting in is a huge deal, and some legends have been snubbed for decades. This year, the inductees were Outkast, Soundgarden, The White Stripes, Cyndi Lauper, Bad Company, Chubby Checker, and more. Number 44. Coming in at number 44, we have the Fire Aid Benefit Concert.
I went from zero to my own hero.
This was a charity event after the LA wildfires. It was over 5 hours of performances, streamed on Netflix, Apple Music, Prime Video, and more. Many huge artists played. Notably, all the surviving members of Nirvana got together and played together for the first time in 6 years. Over $100 million was distributed between over 120 nonprofits. So given LA prices, that's enough to rebuild about 3 houses? Coming in at number 43, we have some K-pop drama that's telling of K-pop as a business. The group New Jeans is in a legal battle with their label Hybe, and the courts just ruled that New Jeans can't leave.
What's your ETA? What's your ETA?
This is happening after HYBE pushed out New Jeans creator and mentor Min Hye-jin, even after the courts ruled that HYBE couldn't fire her. Overall, it's just weird to watch how transparently corporate K-pop is. New Jeans are basically hostages having to clock in at a label they don't want to be with. So basically, like a regular job. Number 42, we have The Wicked movie. It grossed 759 million worldwide. That's the highest grossing musical film ever. It won 2 Oscars and got 10 nominations, including Best Picture. But most of the talk has been about how Ariana and Cynthia have been acting on the press tour. It's nice to see musicals' continued comeback, I think, and especially this one. The Wizard and I from the first movie is a smash.
What a pair will be, the wizard and I.
We're on the other side of a very long non-musical period. So Pixar, for example, one of the core things they believe in is no singing. It's just weird that the press tour for the second Wicked movie was more entertaining than the movie. Number 41. Coming in at number 41, we have Playboi Carti's album Music, a polarizing and experimental album. It debuted at number 1, and he became the first rapper to have 30 songs in the Hot 100 simultaneously. Only Morgan Wallen and Taylor Swift have done the same thing. 30 songs at once, that's almost a third of all the songs on the chart. Specifically, 30% of 100 is 30. Could have been an engineer. Speaking of big starts, here's something for the independent artists out there trying to break through. Today's sponsor, Tidal, just launched something called Upload Headliners. It's a contest with $1 million prize pool for independent artists. $100,000 each going to 10 artists. One cool thing is that you don't need a subscription to upload to Tidal. And the winners are chosen by Tidal's editorial team based on creativity and potential cultural impact. No streaming numbers required. It's purely merit-based. Actual humans listening to your music and judging it by its merits, not algorithms or how many followers you have, which is terrifying if your music isn't actually good. But I think that your music is good and that I would be jealous if I heard it, so you should get in on this. If you're an independent artist in the US, the contest keeps running through December 31st. Go to tidal.com/headliners to learn more. Thank you to Tidal for sponsoring and for putting on such a great initiative. This is not part of the brief, but I just wanted to say that Tidal is my favorite streaming service. Okay, let's continue. Number 40. Coming in at number 40, we have the trend of old songs going viral on TikTok. This year in particular, we had what I thought was a really interesting case, the song Pretty Little Baby by Connie Francis.
Pretty little baby, you say that maybe.
It was a B-side that Connie herself had forgotten she recorded, and it went viral 63 years after its release. 28.4 million videos were made with it, and it garnered over 68.6 billion views. It was used mainly for wholesome content like babies, pets, and family. Connie Francis joined TikTok at the age of 87 to thank everyone, and she said, "I thought there was a virus in the computer or something."
Thank you, TikTok.
And then in a twist of fate, she passed away a month later. The algorithm got her at the worst possible time. Well, you know, it's beautiful in a way. On another note, there was another old-ish song that went viral, Jess Glynne's Hold My Hand. It actually became TikTok UK's #1 song of 2025 because of a budget airline ad. The airline Jet2 has been using the song in their ads since 2015.
And right now, you can save £50.
And this year, a trend started growing using holiday disaster videos with a cheerful "Nothing Beats a Jet2" holiday voiceover.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
People used the song and voiceover to show things like fights on planes, drunken accidents, and tiny hotel windows. The whole thing started with a video of a camel attacking someone. Something that stands out to me is that music is not about novelty anymore. Old stuff can blow up at any time. Really, organic music discovery is happening on a whole other level than it used to. Back in 2010, for example, the probability of a 63-year-old song going viral would be close to 0. Now it's demonstrably not 0. Okay, so now we're out of the 40s. Things are gonna get more interesting from here on out. Also, I'm running out of ways of saying coming in at number, so I don't know what I'm gonna say now. Coming in at number 39, we have anniversaries and returns of rock legends. Basically, a bunch of people's grandpas coming back together, and we love it. Dream Theater's original drummer Mike Portnoy returns to the band after quitting due to burnout back in 2010. So it's gonna be the first album with the founding drummer in 15 years. Mike Portnoy is the guy who me and my drummer friends learned how to play groups of 4 and 2 between our hands and feet from, so he will always be a legend in my heart. Iron Maiden are also celebrating 50 years as a band, playing material from their first albums. The same goes for Rush, who are doing a 50-year anniversary and reunion tour. For both of those bands, that is 18,250 days of the drummer playing while the guitarist is trying to tune the guitar and the singer is showing up to rehearsals 3 hours late. Impressive. I know I couldn't do it. Overall though, this is a sign of the #1 trend that we're seeing across the music industry in 2025. That is that old acts still hold strong and have audiences waiting for them. We're seeing fewer new megastars and more longevity from established acts. This all connects to how the streaming landscape is looking, which we will get back to later in the video. Number 38. We have more comebacks, but in pop. 2 particular ones stand out to me. Zara Larsson's career had kind of stalled in the US between 2021 and 2024, but then her song Symphony went viral because of a dolphin meme you've probably seen.
I just wanna be part of your symphony.
And now she's back with a new album that got 89 out of 100 on Metacritic. You could say she knows how to ride the wave. And then Louis Capaldi played his first show in 2 years at Glastonbury. That is the same stage where in 2023, the crowd sang for him when he lost his voice mid-performance due to his Tourette's. He came back to that exact stage and said, "I might start crying," or at least that's what everyone guessed his Scottish noises meant. Could have been some kind of threat or racist remark. Who knows, you know? Number 37. Coming in at number 37, we have Katy Perry going to space. She was part of an all-female Blue Origin crew in April. They asked her to sing one of her songs and she refused and sang "What a Wonderful World" instead. This Jeff Bezos-induced PR stunt might not be a musical highlight on its own, but maybe the music moment that connects the most to the tech billionaire governed world of 2025. This is so awesome. We are not in hell at all. Let's continue. Number 36. Coming in at number 36, we have the Grand Ole Opry turning 100 years old and celebrating throughout the year. If you're not familiar, the Grand Ole Opry is kind of like the country music Illuminati. It's invite only. They've had about 225 members over the last 100 years, and they can actually revoke your membership. NBC did a special hosted by Blake Shelton. It's a huge milestone for country music as an institution, right as AI-generated country music is taking over the charts. The way things are going, they might start inducting prompts next year. The future is great. Number 35. At number 35, we have vinyl sales hitting new records. Vinyl revenue hit $1.4 billion in 2024. That's the highest since 1984. Vinyl is outselling CDs and is seeing the 18th straight year of growth. While it has become kind of a luxury poser thing, the sound of vinyl is genuinely different from digital and often needs to be mixed differently to work. If there's too much bass, for example, as there is in a lot of modern music, then the needle might jump out of the groove, etc. So yeah, people are buying plastic discs again, which we should celebrate. I guess. Number 34. Coming in at number 34, we have 21 Pilots continuing to be the dominant rock band, even though people debate their genre. Some people say it's indie pop or whatever. Clancy was the biggest rock album in 2024.
On my stripes, 300 tracks in my Adidas track jacket.
Then Breach in 2025 gave them their biggest sales week ever. I'm just surprised they're still around, you know? 21 Pilots in this economy? 1 or 2 seems to be just fine on my flights. Number 33. At number 33, we have Travis Scott returning to Coachella. This was his first Coachella since the Astroworld tragedy in 2021 where 10 people died. All the lawsuits have been settled with Live Nation paying around $280 million. No matter how you feel about the incident, him being back kind of signals something about how the industry has moved on from it. it. And yes, if you're wondering, he did perform his song It Ain't a Mosh Pit If Ain't No Injuries.
And it ain't a mosh pit if ain't no injuries.
If anything is true in 2025, it's that if you wait a few years, everyone forgets everything with their TikTok-rotted attention spans. We'll come back to that pattern later. Number 32. Coming in at number 32, we have the Linkin Park reunion. Emily Armstrong from Dead Sarah joined as the new co-vocalist. Their stadium shows had up to 75,000 people singing in the end. Their comeback single, The Emptiness Machine, hit number 1 on the rock charts, 21 on the Hot 100, and number 4 in the UK. That's their highest UK chart position ever. There's been a lot of discussion online about Emily being a Scientologist, but overall, people see it as the comeback of one of the world's most beloved bands, celebrating Chester, who was obviously gone too early. Number 31. At number 31, we have Sleep Tokens, Even in Arcadia. Debuting at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 200 with 127,000 units. They also had the largest streaming week ever for a hard rock album, 70 million streams. All 10 of the tracks hit the Hot 100 simultaneously. And remember when I said earlier that Ghost was the first hard rock number 1 since AC/DC? Sleep Token makes that 2 hard rock number 1s in 1 year, and that hasn't happened in a long time. The genre is having a moment, so savor it, my hard rock brethren. It'll be dead again in 2 years, I swear. Okay, time for the top 30. This is where some controversial choices come in. Everything before this was unanimous. Number 30. Coming in at number 30, we have Mac Miller's posthumous album Balloonerism that came out in January.
Yeah, somebody died today. I saw his picture in the funny papers, didn't think.
This is his second posthumous release. It was recorded in 2014, 4 years before he passed, and released 2 days before what would have been his 33rd birthday. Bootleg versions had been circulating for years, so now the estate just released it officially. Rest in peace. Also, him being more productive than me from across the grave makes me feel insecure. Don't look at my upload schedule, okay? Number 29. At number 29, we have Jesse Wells. He's a TikTok singer and obvious time traveler who got 4 Grammy nominations this year. He's been doing protest songs and people compare him to Bob Dylan and Woody Guthrie.
War isn't murder, good men don't die, children don't starve, and all the women survive.
His critics, though, call it content creation, not songwriting. Like a Bob Dylan, if Dylan got famous posting songs about news 12 hours after it happened. Basically, they think he's too fast on the ball, I guess. I personally find it a bit didactic, but I can appreciate it nonetheless, you know? He's definitely extremely talented. Number 28. Coming in at number 28, we have the K-pop group Stray Kids making chart history. They're the first act ever to have their first 8 albums all debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200. That's insane.
Yeah, we gon' celebrate cause we got good come.
They joined the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and U2 as groups with 8+ number 1 albums. These kids are really going all the way, as long as they don't stray from their work ethic. A Korean group would never do that. Who am I stray kidding? Number 27. At number 27, we have the Beatles winning another Grammy. Now and Then won Best Rock Performance, their first Grammy in 28 years, and 60 years after winning Best New Artist in 1965. It's also the first Grammy-winning song to use AI. They didn't generate anything new. AI was only used to isolate John Lennon's voice from an old demo tape. Which is great news, because if they want to win another one, they can just use the same tool to instead remove Yoko Ono's vocals from Cambridge 1969. Number 26. Coming in at number 26, the streaming era is officially breaking the charts. So Billboard changed their rules in October. Songs now get kicked off the chart faster, and there's a reason. Below number 50 after 20 weeks or below number 25 after 26 weeks, you are out. Finito. Teddy Swims got removed after 112 weeks, even though he was still in the top 20. Meanwhile, Fleetwood Mac's Rumors from 1977 ranked number 25 on the 2025 year-end chart. Basically, radio and TV used to have limited airtime and push things up and down the charts, but streaming has taken over and people don't really change what they listen to that often anymore. In order to combat this and keep charts fresh, the Billboard charts are going towards becoming editorial decisions dressed up as data. Just like how the New York Times bestseller list isn't actually the best-selling books. Charts are not what they seem overall, but it seems the companies are happy to have us assume that they are based on sales. So, number 25. Coming in at number 25, 2025, we have some actually good news. Ticketmaster all-in pricing in the US. Starting May, they now show the full price upfront with no hidden fees. It was government junk fee regulations that finally made them do this. And yeah, the US was behind. Most of the world already has this. Scalping is of course still an issue, and there's allegation that Ticketmaster is involved in that, but at least now you know what you're paying before you click buy, which seems like it should have been always illegal if you don't know how much it costs when you click buy. So let's celebrate this minor transparency while they figure out their next move on how to screw us over. At number 24, we have Spotify's terrible year. Daniel Ek announced that he is stepping down as CEO effective January 2026. But before we feel too bad for him, he invested 600 million euros in a military drone company, and a lot of artists pulled their music in protest. There's also a class action lawsuit about Spotify's discovery mode. Basically, pay to play for playlists where you get less revenue in order to get more listeners. They also bundled music with audiobooks in order to pay lower royalties to songwriters. And while all of this was happening over the last few years, he cashed out over $800 million in stock. But at the end of the day, Daniel is rich, which means that many would argue he's just winning and therefore did the right thing. I love 2025. It's a good year. Number 23. Coming in at number 23, we have Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas, breaking the all-time record for weeks at number 1. The song is now at a 20 weeks total, surpassing Old Town Road and Shabuzi's A Bar Song. The song is 31 years old. To put her 20 weeks in perspective, we have Despacito. It had 16 weeks. Uptown Funk had 14 weeks at number 1. Blinding Lights, which Billboard named the greatest song of all time, had 4 weeks at number 1. So Mariah Carey's Christmas song has been number 1 almost 5 times longer than the song they called the greatest ever. She's also the first artist to have a number 1 in 4 different decades. So yeah, the charts have gotten stickier, and this is the ultimate example. You could argue a lot of things get stickier when Mariah Carey is around. Number 22. At number 22, we have SZA's SOS spending 100 weeks in the Billboard 200 Top 10.
Damn right, I'm the one. Coming back, she's so candy. Coming back, snatched like bandit.
She is the first woman to ever do this. She beat Adele's 21 for the women's record, and she beat Michael Jackson's Thriller as well for the black artist record. This album came out in December 2022, so almost 3 years of charts dominance. Insane longevity. One thing I thought was funny was that she performed her Drake collab when she was touring with Kendrick, and when asked about it, she said, "I don't know why I wouldn't celebrate I ate up." I kind of love that. Number 21. Coming in at number 21, we have Alex Warren with his song Ordinary, the song of the summer 2025, US and global. It spent 10 weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100. In the UK, it hit 13 weeks at number 1, breaking a 70-year record for longest reigning number 1 by a solo US artist. He beat Slim Whitman from 1955. If you don't know the backstory, Alex Warren was a co-founder of the TikTok content collective Hype House. I also remember that he started making YouTube videos and was called out in 2020 for copying David Dobrik a lot. It was kind of the same video format, same concepts, some titles were eerily similar, and people said he was imitating his laugh. Early on, I even felt like he was doing something similar with his music. Everything he put out in the beginning sounded so much like Louis Capaldi. Anyway, I'm not hearing as much of Louis Capaldi in his voice anymore, and I'm happy for the guy. So well done on Song of the Summer. Now we are entering the top 20. And honestly, from here on out, every single one of these could have been in the top 10. Everything else was garbage. Number 20. At number 20, we have a weird one. The Benson Boone Grammy moment. Benson grabbed his crotch during his performance at the Grammys, and SZA's reaction face became a meme, and then he lost the Best New Artist to Chappell Roan. While that wouldn't be notable on its own, I think Benson is also a bit of a figurehead for other things that were big in 2025. He has the aesthetic of the performative male, which was a big meme this year. It's people who are kind of accused of looking a specific way. Is often the mustache that Benson has, and being a bit of a soft boy and leaning into a lot of female interests to try to, I guess, trick women into liking them. We have the copy-paste leanings of many TikTok-leaning music stars that I think he's a good example of. I think he's very close to Harry Styles, and it seems kind of aware of itself. And Lastly, I actually think that he's an example of a bit of a resurgence in unjustified hate towards people, even though those two things I said before might not sound super nice. Overall, I think people are very mean to this man. It reminds me of how people were really mean to Justin Bieber or really mean to Rebecca Black back in the day. And honestly, I thought we were kind of past that in terms of people growing up and learning how to use the internet and not just being mean to people for weird reasons, but here we are. Again, the terminally online people will always be mean, I guess. Anyway, Benson grabbed a lot of attention in 2025 as he grabbed himself. Number 19. Coming in at number 19, we have The Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow. This is his final album as the Weeknd persona. It closes the trilogy that started with After Hours and continued with Dawn FM. He debuted at number 1 with 490,000 units the first week. One cool detail is that the closing track blends seamlessly into the first song from House of Balloons, his 2011 mixtape, so it's full circle. Goodbye, The Weeknd, but if my prediction is correct, Garfield is going to hate his next album. Coming in at number 18, we have Spanish language music dominance. Bad Bunny became the most streamed artist on Spotify for the 4th time. No one else has even done it twice. 19.8 billion streams in a year. Bad Bunny is also doing the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. And for the first time ever, the top 2 spots on the Billboard 200 were both Spanish language albums. Spanish language music isn't really a niche thing anymore. It's really mainstream. Basically, Despacito was just the appetizer. Amazing. Coming in at number 17, Charlie XCX with Brat. Which technically came out last year. Brat Summer was last year, but this year she won 3 Grammys for it, her first wins ever. She also swept the Brits with 5 wins, including Artist and Album of the Year. To be honest, when I listened to it, it felt like I was at a club, and I hate clubs, but I can appreciate the artistry. They're really trying different interesting things, and it was a cultural moment. I hope everyone enjoyed their Brat Summer last year. I was personally doing my sitting inside getting fat summer. Number 16. Coming in at number 16, we have Rosé and Bruno Mars with their song APT. It was the first K-pop song ever in the year-end Hot 100's top 10. 3 Grammy nominations, including Record and Song of the Year. It was also the fastest K-pop song to hit 1 billion streams on Spotify, just 100 days, averaging 10 million streams per day. And with APT being a drinking game in Korea, APT featuring Rosé now has a double meaning. Smooth. That was a good one. Number 15. All right, time for a reunion no one thought would happen. At number 15, we have the Oasis reunion. Liam and Noel Gallagher of Oasis reunited after 16 years. They split in 2009. If you're not familiar, Oasis was kind of the Beatles of the 90s. They sold 75 million records.
You're my wonderwall.
The brothers hated each other for 15 years. They threw things at each other on stage and made brutal public statements. But this year, suddenly they figured it out, and money definitely had nothing to do with it. The tour sold 1.4 million UK tickets alone, and each brother reportedly pocketed over $100 million. Only Beyonce out-earned them in 2025. There was a dynamic pricing scandal where tickets went from $188 to $451, but still, the fact that it happened at all is the story, which makes me think money really does solve everything. Number 14. Coming in at number 14, we have Doechii winning Best Rap Album for her mixtape Alligator Bites Never Heal. She's the first openly queer artist to win the category and the 3rd woman in the category's history. At this rate, the next woman will win in 2050. We still have control, guys. Don't let the women have it. Okay.
I moved on, dropped a couple of songs, and then I went and got signed. Now it's 2021.
I think she's really cool, and I'm excited to see what she does next, and she has my condolences on the alligator bites. That must have been very painful. Number 13. At number 13, we have Sabrina Carpenter establishing herself as one of the few new superstars. Man-Child became her 2nd number 1 hit.
Stupid. Or is it slow?
She had a new album called Man's Best Friend, and a lot of drama around that, whether like the album cover was too raunchy or whatever. She won 2 Grammys, one for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Solo Performance for Espresso. She is cementing herself as a pop idol now, not just a one-hit wonder. With this amount of success, she'll be able to quit being a carpenter any day now. Number 12. Coming in at number 12, we have Morgan Wallen. He's Billboard's #1 artist of 2025. This is his second time. He also won in 2023.
When we were over, it was overnight. Like came on, it all felt right when it all went wrong.
He had 41 songs on the Hot 100 this year, the most of any artist, and he had 9 songs in the top 10 before his album even came out. On top of that massive success, he's indicative of 2025 for an additional reason: the way controversies don't really seem to matter like they used to. Wallen had some pretty big ones. He threw a chair off of a rooftop and nearly hit police, but really it doesn't seem to impact his career. No matter what you think of it, at least within music, it seems cancel culture is canceled. Number 11. Speaking of misbehaving, at number 11, we have the Diddy trial. You've probably heard the stories about baby oil, 1,000 bottles, and there's a popular Netflix documentary on it. He ended up convicted of 2 counts of violating the Mann Act, which from what I understand is transporting people around to sell them-ish. He was sentenced to 4 years and 2 months plus a fine of $500,000. He said in court, "My actions were disgusting, shameful, and sick." Okay, moving on. We're entering the top 10. If you made it this far, this is probably what you came for, or you've fallen asleep. If so, sweet dreams. Number 10. At number 10, we have Chappell Roan winning Best New Artist. She's the 8th consecutive female winner in that category. Guys, what are we doing? I thought we had things under control. But the big story was her speech. She called out labels to pay livable wages and provide health insurance. She talked about how she was signed as a minor, got dropped, and then couldn't afford health insurance. This is the type of courage and realness I like to see in the music industry, honestly. Overall, I feel like the American entertainment industry is full of people that are afraid of rocking the boat and burning bridges, which is how a lot of terrible stuff keeps happening in the industry. So this is a breath of fresh air. Do I think everything will change from now on? No. But do I think that labels will start paying livable wages and health insurance? Also no. Number 9, Coldplay and their Wild Year. It's got practically nothing to do with their music unless you think of Coldplay as a good old cheaters music. I know I do. I'm of course talking about the infamous Kiss Cam scandal. As far as music moments, this might have been the one that hit the mainstream the hardest. If you're unaware, at a concert, the Kiss Cam caught 2 married executives kissing, but they were not married to each other. Chris Martin said, and I'm gonna do my best English accent here, "Either they're having an affair or they're very shy."
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
They weren't shy. The moment spread across the internet and both resigned from their jobs. The fact that the company they both worked for was in the AI space probably didn't help with the public perception either. A while later, at another Coldplay concert, a couple were proposing and Chris Martin was like, "Is this your partner? No one else's partner? Are you cousins or siblings?" That made me laugh. I'm so sorry about the accent. That just sounds like a drunk guy. Okay, let's continue. At number 8, we have Taylor Swift's Year, which was insane. The Eras tour became the first tour ever to gross $2 billion. It was her 5th year-end #1 album, and most importantly, she bought her masters back from Shamrock Capital. She finally owns all of her music. After all the drama with Scooter Braun and the re-recordings, she now has the recordings back, and we can all finally stop pretending like the new recordings are better than the old ones. I mean, the new recordings are okay, but like there's a reason you want to hear young Taylor sing the young Taylor songs. And I don't know. I'm just happy to be able to listen to like the amazing like Max Martin productions on the classic Taylor Swift songs or the original country recordings. They're just so good. Anyway, huge deal and a satisfying end to that chapter. Justice for billionaires, finally. Number 7. Okay, so this next one, people kept tagging me in all year, and it was nice. It made me feel seen, especially when I wasn't uploading. So, number 7, Pop Demon Hunters. This was a Netflix film that became the most popular film on Netflix ever. Over 236 million views, which if you're not in like media or like online media, that means that kids love it. The song from the movie Golden hit #1 on the Hot 100. It was the first K-pop song with female vocals to hit #1 and the first girl group #1 since Destiny's Child with Bootylicious in 2001. Kind of want to put quotation marks on girl group though, since you know they are not technically real. We had a lot of K-pop moments in this video. We had Stray Kids, Rosé, New Jeans, but this one broke through to the absolute mainstream. People kept tagging me because the movie is about music and the main character is called Roomie, R-U-M-I, which sounds like my name. They stole it. Anyway, I ended up watching it because I was so angry at them, and I ended up loving it. It's really, really good, and Golden in particular is a great song. And if you agree with me that that song is great, prepare to have your mind changed by hearing every kid under 10 years old sing it and scream it and shout it for the next 4 years. This is Frozen all over again. Number 6. This next one might be the defining story of 2025, sadly, and the most depressing to research. At number 6, we have AI music disruption. Spotify, for all its faults, purged 75 million spammy tracks this year. And Suno, one of the big AI companies, settled with Warner for $500 million, and they have this weird partnership where they're going to be training off of Warner's music, but only for artists that opt in, which I'm not sure are people going to do that. Who knows? But this is a scary number. Suno generates 7 million songs per day. That's the entire Spotify catalog every 2 weeks. And according to a survey carried out by Deezer, 97% of the 9,000 people asked couldn't tell the difference between AI-generated and human-made music in a blind test. The other 3% are just musicians who just lost their careers. Remember how the Beatles were using AI to extract John Lennon's voice? That's AI as a tool. But this is kind of different. This is AI that can replace the entire creative process. So yeah, if you ask me, I think this is the defining story of this year, and it has me questioning if 2025 is going to be the last good year for recorded music. The future everyone was so excited about is here. It's great. Okay, so we're entering the top 5. Let's switch gears. Woo! If you don't know these, then you've been living under a rock, or you have a life full of meaning and real relationships that took up your focus this year. Must be nice. Number 5. At number 5, we have Lady Gaga's year. She headlined Coachella for a 2-hour set, second woman ever to headline Coachella twice. Her Rio concert had 2.5 million people watching in real life. Largest concert by a female artist ever. Her album Mayhem was a return to form. It's really good. Absolutely massive year for her, and another reminder of the staying power of established artists in the streaming era. They're not going away, not anymore. They can even go on side quests, like how both Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande are just actors now too. And they're like, oh, I'll just do this for a bit, come back. New artists? Take your TikTok one-hit wonder and get out of here. This is the old guard. The adults are talking. Number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have Ozzy Osbourne. He died on July 22nd, 2025 at age 76, which, given everything he put his body through in the 70s and 80s, is honestly a medical miracle. If you don't know Ozzy, he is basically the father of heavy metal, a huge legend. 17 days before he passed, he did a farewell concert at Villa Park in Birmingham. That was the first time the Black Sabbath lineup played together since 2005. Ozzy performed from a throne because of his Parkinson's. There was 40,000 people in person and 5.8 million people who watched online. Ozzy's funeral procession went through Birmingham and tens of thousands lined the streets. A true legend. The Prince of Darkness got a true king's send-off. Coming in at number 3, we have Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga with their Die With a Smile. It ended as number 1 on the year-end Hot 100.
I wanna hold you just for a while.
It was the fastest song to reach 3 billion streams on Spotify, and it won the Best Pop Duo / Group Performance at the Grammys. And yes, technically the song came out in 2024, but it's dominated this entire year. You heard it everywhere. And as you noticed, Bruno Mars is in the top 20 twice this year. This one and APT with Rosé. At this rate, he might even be able to pay off those casino debts that I still believe are real. But jokes aside, it's just an amazing song. I love it. Number 2. Coming in at number 2, we have Beyonce, finally winning Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter.
This ain't Texas, ain't no hold'em.
Was the first black woman to win Album of the Year in 25 years. Last one was Lauryn Hill in 1999. 25 years. That's not a glass ceiling, that is a concrete bunker right there. Beyonce also won Best Country Album, 35 Grammys total, the most of any artist ever. Number 1. Okay, so it's finally time, guys. At number 1, we have Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance.
Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances. Finessing on them with some counterfeit.
133.5 million viewers, the most watched halftime show ever. It beat Michael Jackson's record from 1993 of 133.4 million, which is funny because that's a difference of 100,000 viewers. Very narrow margin of victory, but still number 1. And of course, Not Like Us also won Record of the Year and Song of the Year at the Grammys, a diss track.
Monster on the beat, ho.
It's kind of crazy to think about all the kids chanting along to the mature themes of that song, but that's 2025 for you. Parenting must be fun these days. So those were the 50 most important music moments in 2025. Perfect list, no misses. Don't even think about commenting with things I missed or things I was wrong about. You would be wrong, and it would be embarrassing for you. And thank you for watching till the end. I was really nervous posting a video after being gone for so long. Hope those of you who watched all the way until the end enjoyed it. I'll see you next time, unless Google decides to change my password and start generating videos with my likeness instead. And at this point, I'm not even sure if that would be illegal. Bye.